Hey, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about something that we've been doing, but I've not really been talking too much about, and that is test-driven development. So what is test-driven development? Well, this is the process of turning requirements into test cases and then writing code to make these tests pass. So what are the actual benefits of following test-driven development? So if we actually look at the benefits, so the first benefit is that it actually helps us ensure that our code works and meets our requirements. It also ensures that our test cases validate the tests actually work. The code you write is also easy to test, so it makes sure that it's flexible. We actually build up documentation over time as well. And our code can be refactored with confidence and that the test will fail if something goes wrong. So when we actually look at how we handle this within our project, where do we actually do this? Well, there's actually a few steps that we followed within our project. Well, the first thing we did before we actually wrote any tests is that we actually made sure that we actually had our requirements. So we made sure that we defined what test cases we actually needed before we just started writing any of the tests. So we actually made our tests fail, so we didn't make them pass straight away. Then within our test, we actually wrote some unit test logic to actually validate what it is that we wanted. So then when we actually wrote our logic, we then wrote code to make our test pass. And then finally, once our test passed, we then found ways to actually see and actually make our code better. So this was the benefit of writing these tests, because now we actually have tests in our code that are, it's almost like documentation, and we can actually automate a lot of our flows and validate that we haven't broken any of the flows within our application. So most of the time when you're actually writing your test, you want to make sure that you actually test, as much as possible. Now, in a real world, that might not be possible if you actually don't have a lot of time. So what I would actually recommend is making sure that at least you basically test or write you integration tests and unit tests at a minimum for your core business logic. So a good example of this is that, let's say for example, let's look at this app here. So this is a budgeting app called Nudget, which is actually, helps you managing your budgets and whatnot. Now, what you wouldn't want to do with an app like this is you actually wouldn't want to actually manually test every single time you wrote a feature, because it's going to get a bit hectic, and the money conversions and so on and so forth. So what would actually make sense in this case for this, use case would be to write tests for actually calculating the budget, and if you subtract the value, and if you have like a date range of how much left you have in your budget over 30 days, it would make sense to actually write unit tests and integration tests to help us automate and not have to manually repeat ourselves every single time. So when you're writing your tests, always think at bare minimum, what is your core business logic? And if you do have more time, then scope out the test cases that you need to write unit tests for. Sweet. So that's everything in this video. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below. Also as well, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get updates for whenever I release a new video. That's everything from me. I'll catch you on a bit. Deuces.